Your start.
Hey, welcome to Monday of ISTE 2024. David and I are out here on the balcony outside one of the ballrooms of the convention center, the Colorado Convention Center, where it's kind of feeling like our home here already. Like you get to this place and it's so immense, and then all of a sudden you start walking to your different sessions or checking out posters and playground areas and things like that, and it quickly grows on you to become pretty familiar with where to find everything.
Yep. Yeah. Even though it's really spread out, but it's nice to meet a lot of cool people and just kind of move around from session to session. And
Yeah. Like we started this morning. We went to a little coffee event that they had at a coffee house just downtown, and a couple blocks from our hotel. And we saw Matt Miller,
yep.
Holly Clark, Ken Shelton. If you're into ed tech type names, those are three of the bigger ones that are out there, and here they are having coffee in the same place with us.
Yep.
So
And that was
pretty sweet.
Hosted by School AI, which was cool.
Yep.
They handed out a
shout
bunch
out
of
to
stuff,
them.
and
Yeah, for sure. Gave some cool hats away as swag, so we'll have to demo those at a different time.
Yeah, and a massive pencil, a really big pencil. I wish I had it, but
be honest, you're going to give it to one of your kids to use, aren't you?
Yeah,
for sure. So anyway, we thought we would do this out here on the balcony today because you get to kind of catch a little view of the skyline here. So we're just gonna switch cameras here that we're looking at, and hang on.
There we go.
All right, so you're looking at me, but I need to, I don't know if I can edit the camera while we're going. Anyway, I'll just turn it, I'll just show it this way, I guess. So out here on the balcony, of course, we get to look at the Denver Skyline, which is pretty kind of neat to see some of the tall buildings of a city, not going to lie. Outside here, you can look over as I scan across. You can see the sports arenas that are over there, and if you can see just well enough over the trees at the skyline, you'll notice the mountains in the background. Pretty cool. There's the Denver Broncos stadium past that church in the foreground, and basically we're surrounded, like, at least on three sides from where we are by mountains, which for a couple of boys from Minnesota is definitely not something that we're used to all the time, but pretty kind of cool. Just thought we'd share a little bit of the scenery and the things that we're encountering here on our daily basis. So cool. So David's going to start with here, kind of a couple of his takeaways from today, and we'll get that rolling.
Yeah, so going around to sessions, there was, I tried to go to a lot of AI sessions, but I did start with one that was a micro-learning session. And the cool thing about the micro-learning session is that that's actually a big thing that's coming out now and is becoming more of a focus. There are companies that are basically dedicated towards micro-learning. This was similar to that, but is micro-coaching in doing it through social media. And the whole premise is that you have a lot, teachers don't have time. And so it's a lot of creating tutorials so that they can watch things on the go, and it's little tips and tricks and things. And so there's much more of a focus on that because of the world that we live in now with Twitter and Instagram and everything coming quick, and people going through a lot of different things, swiping through a lot of different things. They want to be able to get these tips to people without them having to, teachers especially, having to sit around for an hour and watch something just to get the gist of it. So so that was really cool. And then after that, I really did focus on AI a lot. One of the things that I went to was the Teach AI panel, and that was really great. Just kind of went through how they developed everything and who's a part of that process, and that, kind of their steps moving forward. What are they going to be doing with education? And then there was another one that was an AI skills, like moving to the next level. So like an advanced AI skills thing. And the whole idea there was basically to have a focus on like things like assignments. And it's kind of interesting because it's giving teachers assignments that look like worksheets, but basically it's prompting and going through and almost having two systems at once. So say like a Gemini and a ChatGPT, and putting the same prompts in both of those and then working your way through. and making them more complex as you go, and then just seeing what the output is from those systems. So that was really cool. That's something that I talked to Jeremy about, actually, and really want to do.
Yeah. I think you could probably expect you'll see some of that in the PD type sessions that each of us offer to schools in our area, for sure.
Yeah. What were your...
One of the first sessions that I went to this morning was called Developing Digital Detectives, based off of this book that I then actually went and bought today in the bookstore here, because I really thought he had some great ideas here about helping students to kind of become better navigators of media literacy, digital literacy, and helping to identify the fact from the story. That the fact is going to be those things that are verifiable, and the story is going to be how people portray their version of what happened, based on their own experiences, but yet also their own agendas and motives, right? And so there's this great framework that he's got there within that book, and I'm really looking forward to digging into that, maybe even on the plane ride home, like some good reading material there. But since I was at the bookstore, I also picked up a couple of other different items because I got a really good deal. One book here by Rochelle Dene-Poth called How to Teach AI. I think is going to have some good insights into it. And I'm also excited about this one called Exploring AI, which is this book that is geared towards 3rd through 5th graders. So kind of teaching 3rd to 5th graders, very early on about AI, how AI works, so that they better understand the tools that they're going to be using every day in their lives. Let's face it. I mean, that's the future.
Yeah, and I think that's good because that's a theme that has come up from the keynote yesterday through stuff that I went to today, where a lot of the focuses seem to be on making sure that teachers are AI literate, and then also students are AI literate. And so anything that can help us teach them
Right.
how to be literate in AI is going to be extremely helpful. And I've
getting
enjoyed
to
those.
the earlier learners, the better.
Yep.
Right?
Yep,
for sure. And then this afternoon, I went to an interesting session. It was called an Ed Confluence, and it brought together to have like roundtable discussions, small group discussions with educators and ed tech vendors. And so they had some great questions that kind of established this dialogue. The vendors are bringing their products to market, and how are they developing these products? What sort of input are they seeking from schools? And how can, educators and students, even to some extent, work to help to co-design products that are going to be, marketable and profitable to the vendors, but yet at the same time extremely valuable to the educators that are using them. And it's oftentimes that I think that some of these ed tech tools are developed without really considering the end users, and this is a way to kind of bring those perspectives together. So it was some great dialogue, and absolutely some of the best desserts that they had there that I've ever had. The macaroons that they had were freaking just unreal, and they had this other fudge thing that was like, oh my gosh, so good. I am still stuffed from just having a few desserts. But yeah, those were kind of my big takeaways here today. I'm looking forward to some fun events that we are going to attend here tonight at the After ISTE stuff, and look forward to coming back again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm trying to make Jeremy go to the arcade with me, because there's an arcade event that's hosted by who's hosting that one?
That one is being hosted by a number of different groups.
Yeah, I think like Brisk.
3 or 4. Brisk is one of them. I know for
there's
sure.
a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
It'll be a great time.
So,
all right.
Thanks everybody. Hopefully you got some good insights, and we'll be back tomorrow with a day 2 recap.
All right.